Good afternoon, folks, and to all the ladies out there, happy Women's Day. It gives me great pleasure to be sitting here on the track here at the Irene Veterans Cricket Club with Paul Pretorius and talking cricket. This is our first podcast that we're going to be putting together, and this is on behalf of the Titans Veteran Cricket League, and it's one of very many that we'll be doing as we go around the various clubs, interviewing and discussing and talking cricket. And as I mentioned, I alluded to, I've got Paul Pretorius, who's just finished up a game, and he's from the Phobians. He's from the Phobians Veterans Organisation. Now, Phobians have got together, and they are going to be part of the league for the very first time. And Paul, welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I suppose as an intro, certainly from a Phobians perspective, can you give us insight as to exactly what we can expect from a Veterans League, as we know that the product is obviously developing, and as you very candidly said, it's the fastest growing age group around. What I'd like to focus on is what are Phobians going to bring, how we're going to expand at Phobians, what the catchment area is. But over to you. Welcome. Thank you.
Thanks very much. So I think from a Phobians point of view, we've had a couple of Pretoria Old Boys players that have been playing in the Veterans League for the last couple of years. Myself and Cole Honu and Nick van Woerkom got together and said, well, why don't we put together a Phobians or a Pretoria Old Boys side? The beauty of it is that it's going to add an extra team to the league, which adds another dimension, brings in a range of players. In our squad, we've got 28 players. We've got ex-provincial players. We've got coaches of provincial players, coaches of cricket clubs that are playing for us now. It's going to add a dynamic. It's going to add some versatility when we get into selecting the provincial sides. And it's going to strengthen the league, I think.
That's wonderful. What in terms of Phobians, all right? You mentioned Pretoria Old Boys. Where is the catchment area for Phobians? I mean, if we're now going out on a broad spectrum now, and there are guys out there, as we all now encountering year on year, because the product is actually expanding, and because the quality of the product is actually quite good. You know, I first of all, pardon me, when I first started, we looked at the product saying, oh, is it, isn't it? And as years go by and as months go by and as matches go by, the product's actually increasing. So coming to the catchment area in terms of Phobians, where are you looking for guys?
Sure. So we're going to predominantly look for Pretoria Old Boys players.
Okay.
So guys who went to Pretoria Boys High, guys who played their cricket at Pretoria Old Boys or Phobians. And as well, then we want to start pushing it towards an all boys club. So there aren't a lot of all boys schools that have cricket clubs that are associated with that. We've got a lot of guys from all around the country that went to boys schools that are now in Pretoria, Johannesburg area, and that we share the same ethos because of the schools that we went to. So for instance, we've got guys that are going to be here from Queenstown that went to Queen's College. It's a very good fit for us. From a catchment point of view, we're looking at the old boys, but it's also the guys who grew up in the Pretoria East area and went to the schools there, Menlo Park, Uffies, Pretoria Boys, Gasfontein, that type of thing. So that's where we're going to pull our players from. I think the beauty of the Veterans League is that we don't have to go and sit on a Saturday and play club cricket anymore. We can play a little bit in our own in our own league. Yeah, and it's nice. And I think there's such a good family environment around the league. Because the majority of the guys over 40 have their families, and it's good for the kids to come around, have a run around, and see. Not
100% sure whether the women today are going to be happy with the two of us sitting talking cricket in the middle of the field. But be that as it may, in terms of expectation, Paul, all right. Again, it's quite difficult because the league, as I say, the product is very good. What do you hope to achieve out of your first season? You know.
Yeah, I think we want to be competitive. I think, like I was saying, we've got a lot of good cricketers that have joined us again. I don't want to go sit here and say that we're going to win, but we'd obviously like to have a dip at it and have a good go. I think the thing is that we want to walk out onto the field. We want to be as competitive as we can, and we want to give the guys that have got the established clubs a little bit of a run for their money.
Well, look, I think it's wonderful, and welcome to Phobians to the league.
Thank you.
I certainly look forward to us sort of meeting up at some particular point in time, whether it be in the various competitions. But I fully agree that it certainly adds strength to the league, and I think certainly from an organising committee, you and your two colleagues have done fantastic work. I wish you all the very, very best. Thanks for being our first podcast,
Thank
our first
you very
interview. I can assure you at the end of the season, we'll be sitting here doing exactly this, perhaps having a beverage in our hand, but we'll look forward to seeing you. So, Paul, really, thank you very much. Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing the results.
And we wish all the players the best.
Fantastic.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Chum.